Oh, yeah. I joined the Army in 1950, December 1950. I never forget that. I took basic training in Fort Bliss, Texas. And we were getting ready to combat because I learned every way of fighting with the knives, with the guns, with the bayonets and machine guns. And then they placed me on the anti-aircraft outfit, which shooting planes. And I thought for sure they were going to send us to Korea because we took a lot of training, I mean, a lot of fighting, combat, hand-to-hand combat. They used to take us to New Mexico, the White Sands, the mountains there, and we had the caravan, and all of a sudden they raised dummies, and we had to be quick and put in their bayonet and stab him, or hit him with the butt and then stab him. We took all that kind of training. After we were finished training, they got us ready, and he said, "Get ready because we're leaving tomorrow morning." Okay, so that night we load the train. We loaded the guns and the tractors, the car cats, they pull the guns, and we loaded everything, the train that afternoon. Next morning we left pretty early, about 6 o'clock in the morning. We rode the train all the way. And we thought we were going to California to get shipped to Korea. No, then we find out that we were going to New Jersey. I said, New Jersey? What the heck are we going to do in New Jersey? Well, we stayed there a couple of days in New Jersey, and then the following day, get ready because we're shipping out. We got on the boat, and we headed to Germany. I said, what the hell are we going to do in Germany? The war's in Korea, not in Germany. But the government had a special mission for us in Germany. We went out to Germany, and the first few nights we slept on tents, and it was raining like hell and muddy. Man, you had mud up to your butt. we slept there 3 or 4 days because they didn't have barracks yet for us. And then next morning, when we got up, you had to clean everything up, go outside and clean the guns, and they were all muddy and dirty. Finally, they gave us barracks. Next morning, they got us up, and we went to the Black Forest to do some training. We ran all over that damn forest. It's lovely. I like that because it was clean. It was clean woods. The Black Forest, you go, you can sit here, and you can see through the trees all the way to the other side. That's one thing the Germans got. They keep them woods clean. They do not hear too many weeds and all that shit. So anyway, we took, and then we went to the bay. We went to the bay because on one side was Germany, and the other side was England. The other side of that bay was England.
Uh-huh.
And we start shooting. We weren't shooting planes, we were shooting at targets. The plane would come, and about 100 or 200 feet he had a cable, and he was pulling the target. So we shoot at the target. And then we have, we don't have no planes, we shoot at make-believe bunkers. We shoot the bunkers where the Germans were hiding. So we did pretty good. There was 13 guys, I think, on my platoon. And we had a gun. And then they made me ammunition chief. I was setting the time on the head of the bullet. Had to set the time had to check, the computers would send us the readings, the windies and the elevation and the speed of the wind and how fast the plane was coming and when to shoot. I had to set that time on the nose of the bullet. Because I got them bullet about that big, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to be quick about it because I had 6 guys lined up. I had to pass that bullet to the guy, and they would pass it and give it to the loader, and then the gunner would get ready. And they had a guy on each side, one sending the elevation and the sideways. It was pretty neat. I liked the word lyric. I love the Army. I love their training and the exercise they gave us. We used to run, jump rope, climb the fences, and crawl on our stomach for 2-3 blocks. And they hit dynamite on the ground. Once in a while, they explode and they fill you with dirt. But you couldn't get up because the other guys were shooting machine guns. They were shooting with machine guns to a target, and we were crawling underneath that. And then we had our fun too. I met 2, 3 families, German families, and they were pretty nice. Some of them used to cook for us, give us a hot meal. And we also went to the beer joints. We had a couple of fights with some Russians because we went to a town called Lubeck, and that was in the border of Germany and Russia. And they had some Russian soldiers coming to drink in the beer joints. And some of them thought they were smart, so we got into a couple of fights. But that time, my compadre Leo, your grandfather, he came to Chicago to baptize you. He passed away too, a couple of years ago. We were always together, and he was in high school. He was a boxer, so he knew how to how to fight. So we fought a couple of Russian soldiers, and kicked their butts up, and kick them away. We had fun. It was nice fun. At night, I got a PFC stripe after training, but I don't know. When I was young, I always liked chasing women, and we met a couple of German girls, and we were supposed to be in the post before midnight. And that night we stayed outside. We came back till 1 o'clock in the morning, so I got busted. They took my stripe out. A few months later, they gave it back to me again. I would have made sergeant first class because the job I had was corporate. Ammunition chief. I had to be a sergeant. They were paying me sergeant paid, but I didn't have the stripes. They didn't give me the stripes because I was always staying outside late. And then later on, just about the time we were getting to come back to the States, the general called me. The General Eisenhower was my general at that time. He was an army general in Germany. He called me, not me, he called up several guys, and we took a test, and me and a guy from Far Texas got the highest points. But they wanted us to sign for 6 years. And there was a big construction company from New York that came over. They were going to start rebuilding the bridge. That big bridge they busted, they bombed. They was going to start rebuilding the bridge, and they needed help. And they wanted us to sign for 6 years, and they would give us a job with the construction company. We could go work. In the morning we have to, and the night we had to stay in the post. But during the day we work. And they were paying good, but no, it sounded good. Pero I wanted to come back to the States. So I came back to the States, and I went over to Mexico to Reynosa and married my wife.